And welcome back to the channel, everybody. Here, Lucas from Mars again with this this franchise here, this Marlins rebuild on MLB The Show 22. And this is game 3 here of this National League Division Series against the Los Angeles Dodgers. And, well, the Marlins have a long road ahead of them here if they want to somehow win this in this series and make a comeback. They fell in both of the first 2 games to the Dodgers here, and not really very close games either. They lost both their games by a wide margin. Lost game 1 by 5, then lost game 2 by 11 runs, 14-3. They lost their last game. So they scored 3 runs in both game 1 and game 2, but I mean, this Dodgers offense has been basically unstoppable in this series so far. And Sixto Sanchez is going to be the guy on the mound for Miami. He's going to be the one trying to slow this offense down. It's up to him here. So what can the Marlins do? Can they save their season here down 0-2 to the LA Dodgers? And there's Sixto's numbers this season: a 4.22 ERA in 192 innings, over 200 hits allowed, a 1.38 whip, 60 walks to 125 strikeouts. That's a pretty decent season overall. And let's see what he does against this lineup. There's Trey Turner through 2 games, only a 125 average with 2 RBIs so far. First pitch here of the game is a ground ball, and it's a base hit back up the middle. So not exactly the start that Sixto was looking for here in this top of the first inning. A base runner already. Here to begin things, as there is now Chris Taylor with Turner at second base, and Taylor swings and misses at a slider there outside on the outside part of the plate. That was a great pitch by Sixto there. No chance for Taylor. Perfect off-speed pitch, and now Mookie Betts is up. He had 2 home runs in the first game, and that's a ground ball over to first base to get the second out of the inning. Moving up to third base is Trey Turner, and here's a look at the starting lineup through 2 games. Look at these averages here: 222 by Turner, 500 for Chris Taylor, Mookie Betts 444, Will Smith 444, Rios and Gavin Lux batting 500, 125 for Muncy, and then Bellinger and Taylor Ward at the very end of the lineup. Point being, a lot of high averages in this Dodger lineup here so far through 2 games in this series, as that is caught by Garrett Cooper in left to end the top of the first inning. So that was a clean, well, not a clean inning, but a scoreless one at the very least, put up by Sixto there in the top of the first. On the mound for the Dodgers is Clayton Kershaw, and that's just crazy that Kershaw is their 3rd pitcher on this roster here. Kershaw this year, 3.39 ERA, 220 innings, a 1.15 whip, 171 strikeouts. I mean, just what he does. Normally, a really good season by him. John Birdie up to the plate. Birdie 154 with a homer and an RBI so far in the postseason, as the 2-2 is a swing and a miss there on a 4-seamer. So we saw Birdie, have a home run, have a triple, kind of slowed down since then. 2 down. There's a fly ball. Jesus Sanchez pretty deep into left field, but I believe that's Taylor Ward out there in left, and that is who it is there to make that catch to end the bottom of the first. So Miami goes quietly there in the bottom half. Now Max Muncy's at the plate. Muncy is going to swing and miss at a changeup down below the knees. That was a great pitch by Sanchez right there. And that's a clean inning. 1-2-3 goes LA in the second. Absolutely filthy pitch right there to Max Muncy. And so now we go bottom of the second. Jorge Soler at the plate, 417 and 2 RBIs for him in the playoffs so far. He's been one of the best hitters on this team to begin the postseason. 1-0, and he swings through it, but he actually, the bat goes flying there as he cannot hold on to the bat, and then he goes around on that slider that's way inside and low. Man, not a good pitch. You could tell he did not really want to swing at that, but he couldn't help himself. JJ Bleday, 333 and 1,000 OPS with a homer, 3 RBIs in the postseason. He's going to swing and miss at that slider outside, though, for strike 3. So, 3 Ks for Kershaw through 2 innings. Sanchez has got a couple here already. Now here's Bellinger. Scoreless game in the 3rd. There's a drive, and that ball will fall in front of Sanchez in center. So that's the 2nd hit of the game, 2nd base runner of the game. Both belong to LA. Here's now Ryan Ward. 429 so far in the postseason. Ryan Ward is going to drive one into right, and it is going to get over the wall just barely. A line drive home run by Ryan Ward, his first of these playoffs, and a surprising star here in this series so far for the Dodgers. As that was just a line drive shot, just getting over the wall. 2-0 LA. There's a swing and a miss by Mookie Betts, but man, I mean, that's a 69 overall player, I believe, in Ryan Ward. I don't even think he's a 70 overall, but he has been really ridiculous in this series so far. I mean, he's gotten a couple of extra base hits, his first home run of the postseason now, and a couple of strikeouts there by Sanchez, but the Dodgers, again, for the 3rd straight game, strike first tonight. So, down 2-0 as we go to the bottom of the 3rd. And here's Bobby Bradley, 250 average for him in an RBI so far. 2-2 pitch. It's on the corner, and it's strike 3. Great location right there by Kershaw, who's got 4 Ks now already tonight. And, I mean, this is an issue here. This offense for the Marlins hasn't shown much of anything yet so far. John Birdie, though, is going to drive it into center, and that is right to the center fielder, unfortunately. So, man, 3 innings, 1 hit, no runs for the Dodgers, or for the Marlins so far to this point. There's Edwin Rios, still batting .400 so far in this series. 0-2 is a swing and a miss. Subtle change below the zone, and Sanchez has got 5 strikeouts already here so far tonight. So he's got the strikeout ball working, and overall he's pitched really well. Just gave up that home run to Ward. But other than that, he's been really good today. Here's Max Muncy at the plate. And Muncy is going to swing and miss now. That pitch is just filthy. And he has been throwing it effectively. Sanchez has here in 4 innings. He's got 6 strikeouts now so far today. Now here's Jesus Sanchez. And Jesus Sanchez is going to drive one deep to left field. Second deck shot for Jesus Sanchez. 4:15 on the distance. His first of this series. And it is a 2-1 game. Miami's on the board here in the 4th inning. And, man, that one was absolutely crushed. And if Kershaw, you know, the one struggle that he might have in his repertoire and his game is the long ball. That's been something that he's struggled with at times in his postseason career. And they're looking to take advantage here. 105 exit velocity. Man, 415. Absolutely crushed there on the distance with that swing. Now Jazz Chisholm is going to line it into... Oh, it's actually not picked up by the second baseman. And Bellinger or Gavin Lux, that's actually going to be an error on Gavin Lux, who, you know, a ground ball that he should have been able to handle there at second base that he cannot pick up. And now Jorge Soler is going to come up to the plate. First pitch to Soler. Stolen base. And Jazz Chisholm gets into second easily. That was a very easy stolen base for him. And he just got a fantastic jump on Clayton Kershaw. The throw was also not a great one by the catcher. So now he's in scoring position for Soler here on this 0-1 count. And let's see. The pitch to Soler is a drive into deep left. There it goes! Ryan Ward is at the wall, and it's gone! Jorge Soler with his first long ball of the playoffs, a no-doubter to left. And the Marlins take the lead here in the 4th inning. It is 3-2 Miami. I mean, the star of the Marlins offense all year has come through with a big homer here in this 4th inning. 3-2 lead. Man, a no-doubter. He's been excellent in the playoffs so far. 443 feet to left field. That was absolutely crushed. My goodness. Onto the concourse out there in the outfield. There's a swing and a miss by Blade. But that was what the doctor ordered for the Miami offense. And I think it might be this might be their first lead. Or no, they led 1-0 in Game 1 at one point in this series. But I mean, this is the latest that they've had a lead in this series. That's for sure. I know that in a bowl game so far. So 3 hits, 3 runs, 2 long balls in that inning by the Marlins, whose offense kind of came alive against Kershaw in that 4th. So now we're in the 5th, and Cody Bellinger comes back to the plate. He's 1 for 1 on the game today. And an 0-2 is a swing and a miss. Oh my goodness, a changeup. Another off-speed pitch that is just filthy. Now Chris Taylor is going to take that fastball up at near the top of the zone for strike 2. Counts full. 3-2. Pitch is a fastball on the outside corner for strike 3. Looking. Man, 6-0 Sanchez. That sign is sideways. I don't know if that fan knows that, but man, 6-0 Sanchez has 8 strikeouts in 5 innings today. He has been excellent. And so, I mean, we're trying to figure out how to slow down this Dodger offense, and he's been doing that so far today. There's a ground ball and a base hit by Jacob Stallings. One of the few hits he's gotten in this postseason so far, but that is a good sign for him getting on base. Now it's John Birdie, and John Birdie's going to send a drive into deep left field. Ryan Ward's at the wall, and that ball is gone! John Birdie gets it over the left center field wall for his 2nd home run of the postseason. And the Marlins jump out in front by 3 now. It is a 5-2 bowl game. The long ball for Miami working right now in these last couple of innings. How about that swing from John Birdie? 395 on the distance. Wow, 2 home runs now for him in this postseason. Jazz Chisholm is going to take a pitch inside and high for ball 4. So Kershaw is not doing so hot, and that actually is going to be the last pitch for him tonight, as Dave Roberts is going to come and take him out. And not what Kershaw wanted from his outing today, that I don't think is, you know, he didn't even go into the went into the 5th inning, 4.1 innings, but gave up 5 runs and 5 hits tonight. Responsible for that man on first base right now. But, you know, got 6 strikeouts and walked 1 or 2 guys. Just not a good game for him by his standards, of course. And Tyler Anderson is going to come out of the bullpen, too. Replace him. And, yeah, Anderson's been really good as a long reliever. Basically a 5th starter for this Dodgers squad. But now we go back to Jorge Soler, who, of course, had that home run his last at-bat back in the 4th, that no-doubter. And, you know, against Kershaw, a big moment that gave the Marlins the lead initially. Now Soler, he's going to look at that one, a fastball for strike 3 at the top of the zone. That was a really good pitch by Anderson. We're going to see one more time. Yeah, right on the corner there. Not much you can do with that pitch right there, but just a good location. Now Garrett Cooper, he is going to swing and miss at a sinker. That one was a little bit more hittable down in the zone, but not able to catch up to it. But, man, John Birdie gives the Marlins their biggest lead that they've had all series long here against LA. They're up by 3 now, 5-2. We're going to the 6th. And now here's Mookie Betts striding to the plate. He is 0 for 2 so far with the strikeout and a ground out. Still batting 400 overall for the playoffs. And the 1-0 to Betts is a drive out to deep left field. Garrett Cooper is at the wall. Garrett Cooper reaches up and actually makes the catch right at the wall. Not sure if that one was going to go over or not. It gave me the, the home run robbery signal to try and rob the home run. I don't know if that would have gone over or not, but a good play out there by the left fielder regardless, as there's a swing and a miss on a slider there to Will Smith. Man, Sixto Sanchez, 9 strikeouts against just an absolutely insane batting order, one of the best in baseball here, and he has been just carving these hitters up. A couple of sliders in that at bat, and a 4-seamer mixed in there as well. Nothing over the middle of the plate. He has been excellent with his location in this game. There's a line drive right to first base. Probably Bradley takes care of it, but yeah, I mean, you cannot give this team any gimme pitches right over the middle. That's where they damage you, and that's where they hurt you, and Sixto Sanchez has just not done that today in his outing. 6 really good innings. There's a swing and a miss, and J.J. Bleday down on strikes again for his 2nd time tonight. As that's another one there, a fastball for strike 3, and Anderson has 3 strikeouts now out of the bullpen, and 9 in total in this game. So both teams have struck out quite a bit so far tonight. Bobby Bradley, just a good pitch there in location on the outside corner. So now with 2 out, here's Jacob Stallings, and he's going to fly one into the outfield here, deep into left field. It just kept on carrying, and Ryan Ward eventually tracked it down. I thought he might run out of room eventually there, but he doesn't. Now Cody Bellinger here with 2 outs in the 7th. There's a swing and a miss. A fastball, I believe that was outside. And Sixto Sanchez, 7 4-hit, 2-run innings with 10 strikeouts tonight. What an outing. And now Richard Blair is going to come out of the bullpen, who was unreal in this regular season. 1.45 ERA. And a 0.87 whip. Really good numbers this year as the setup man. And the Marlins here up by 3 runs, looking really good. Ryan Ward at the plate. There's a line drive, and that's a base hit. That's going to be extra bases possibly. Ryan Ward is around first, and he's going to get to second with a double. I don't want to speak too soon. This Dodgers offense can pile up some runs in a hurry here. Trey Turner is at the plate now. And Turner's going to line one into the outfield. Garrett Cooper's up with it. Ryan Ward is going to try and score. The throw is cut off by Sanchez, or by Blair. No, by Anderson. I believe that was Anderson at third base, cutting it off. That's a run, by the way, for L.A. And not a bad pitch by Blair there, but just a good hit by Trey Turner. So now it's Chris Taylor at the plate in a 2-run game. And that ball misses outside. So 2 men on, nobody out still. That's the tying run that is now stepping up, or now on the base pass. And here's Mookie Betts, who is 0 for 3 in the game tonight. Richard Blair struggling here in this 8th inning. First pitch to Betts is a swing and a drive into deep left field. Bleday is at the wall, and it is over his glove and over the wall. It is gone. Mookie Betts, 3rd homer of the series. And that one's a gut punch to the Marlins faithful. Man, a crowd silencer here in the 8th. 3-run go-ahead homer. The Dodgers are now up 6-5. And, man, that's what I'm telling you. I mean, you just don't ever feel comfortable in a game when you're facing this team. And that was a slider right down the middle. Bad pitch by Richard Blair. Mistaken location. And what a disaster inning here by the Marlins. I mean, up by 3. Looking really good. Your starter just cruising. And now you're down by a run. 368 on the distance there. And that's another base hit into the outfield here. And Richard Blair only 13 pitches, but it is time to bring somebody else in to try and control this game. And here's Dylan Floro. Really good numbers. 45 saves for him on the season. A 2.31 ERA and a sub .1 whip, 47 strikeouts on the year. So not a safe situation for Floro, but just needs to get a few outs here. Now there's a ground ball, and that ball will get through and is another hit. So Edwin Rios keeps it going for LA. There's still nobody out in this inning right now. But now it's Gavin Lux. And Gavin Lux is going to square around to bunt. Anderson picks it up. Anderson, I don't know what he's doing here. He's got to go to first base. I mean, that was a mistake by me there. I don't really know why. I thought I could go back to third base, try to get the out. Anyway, that was not the good decision there. You got to throw it to first in that spot. Now the bases are loaded, and Max Muncy's going to crush a ball deep to left, and it is gone. Oh, man. A grand slam by Max Muncy. And what an inning here by the Dodgers. An 8-run top of the 8th. And now all of a sudden they got 10 runs tonight. Now all of a sudden they're up by 5 here in the 8th inning. And, I mean, you talk about that 3-run home run by Mookie Betts being gut punched. That grand slam even more of a gut punch because you could have come back down by only 1. You can't, I mean, you're probably not going to be able to score 5 runs in 2 innings here, now down 10-5. That's finally the first out of this 8th, by the way, right there, that strikeout. Yeah, that was an absolutely brutal inning. It honestly was very frustrating me pitching in that inning. I was very upset when that grand slam happens. I mean, it's so hard to pitch against the Dodgers. Their offense is so difficult and so deep, and the bullpen totally blew it for us in this game. 11-5 now. The Dodgers added another run, and now we're in the 9th inning, and now it's seemingly the game pretty much out of reach here. There's a ground ball out. Brian Anderson grounds out. Blake Treinen gets the out there. 1 down. Jacob Stallings is going to take a slider inside for strike 2, or out number 2, strike number 3. Now John Birdie out down to their last strike, and he's going to fly it into left field. It's shallow, on the move, making a play is Mookie Betts, and that was in right field, and that is the end of the game and the end of the season for the Marlins. And man, that is very, very disappointing. Very disappointing end to this series here. I mean, again, I didn't expect to win 3 games in a row against the Dodgers. Of course, I thought that was pretty much out of the question. But this game was right in our reach. We definitely should have won this one. I mean, the offense came up to play. We got the run support we needed. It was a 5-2 game going into the 8th inning, and just lost it. 8 runs in the top of the 8th, a 3-run homer, a grand slam, and that's how the season ends. Our bullpen could not do the job, and I mean, the pitching overall in the series was just awful for Miami. I mean, look at that start by Sixto Sanchez. 7 innings, 4 hits, 2 runs allowed, 1 walk, and 10 strikeouts. That is a start that he should have won. Richard Blair came in, didn't even get an out, gave up 5 runs off of 4 hits and a walk. Infinite ERA. Dylan Floro gave up 3 runs off of 3 hits, and then another run given up by somebody else in the bullpen that came in later in the game. Betts got 3 RBIs in this one. Muncy got that grand slam. Betts and Muncy both got 6 ribbies in the series in total. And, man, Kershaw didn't even pitch that well. 4.1 innings, 5 hits, 5 runs, 4 earned, 2 walks, and 5 strikeouts. 12 strikeouts overall as a team. But, yeah, I mean, you can't win a game if your pitching staff gives up 11 runs. It's just very unlikely to happen. I mean, we gave up 14 runs in Game 2, so and 8 runs in Game 1. I mean, that's, that's unexcusable, and that's 33 runs allowed in 3 games. you're not going to win a series if you give up 33 runs in 3 games. I mean, it's just as simple as that. That is really ridiculous for me to even say. But yeah, I mean, Jorge Soler was great, 375 average for him with a homer and 4 RBIs. I mean, the offense could have done a little bit better, but it really wasn't all that bad. The offense did what they needed to do in that game, especially. It's just starting pitching wasn't all there. The bullpen wasn't all there. And that was, the most frustrating thing about this, too, for me was that our bullpen was I thought, the biggest strength of the team, probably besides the starting pitching going into these playoffs. I really had a lot of confidence in our bullpen. I mean, it was a great bullpen in the regular season, and it just totally dropped the ball when it came to the postseason. So, yeah, I mean, this was a season overall that probably exceeded my expectations. I didn't expect us to make the playoffs in year one, so we have that to kind of tip our hat to. And I mean, the Dodgers are a great team. I don't think we're ready to be playing the Dodgers and to be beating the Dodgers in the postseason anyway. We're not at that level yet, but yeah, that game was disappointing. That was a game we should have won there. And again, looking at those stats again one more time, but yeah, I mean, the averages aren't unbelievable, but they aren't awful either. And so that'll be the final game that we'll play. Of course, you realize that there is a lot more time in this episode, so we're going through the stats right now, but we're going to see the conclusion of the playoffs here because we got a special moment that I recorded in the playoffs here. But Sixto Sanchez, again, just another look at what his start was like there in those 7 innings. And that was a really good start. I did not expect Sixto Sanchez to come out there and pitch that well. Pablo Lopez pitched really well. He pitched in the wild card game and, pitched 6 really good innings. Sandy Alcantara didn't pitch very great, gave up 5 runs in 5 innings. And Trevor Rogers was really bad. 9 runs allowed in 3.2 innings. That was in game 2. Again, I mean, that was, you can't win if your bullpen, if your starter is doing that. Anthony Bass was our only guy that really performed well out of the bullpen. He didn't give up a run in 2.2 innings. 2 runs given up by Hernandez in 6.2 innings. Cole Sulser did not give up a run in 2.1 innings. But this is where the bullpen got really bad. Tanner Scott, 4 runs allowed in 1.1 innings. Anthony Bender, 3 runs allowed in 1.1 innings. Dylan Floro gave up 3 runs in 1 inning. Zach Pop gave up 3 runs in 1 inning. Jesus didn't get pitch, and then Richard Blair 5 runs and didn't even get it out. So, yeah, you're not gonna win if that's what your bullpen is pitching like. I mean, we had a couple of guys that pitched well in our bullpen, but overall the bullpen was absolutely dreadful, and that showed in the final result. So, yeah, just a little bit disappointing for the season to end in the way that it did. And, I mean, we win that game. We have a chance because we're probably going to have Pablo Lopez pitch for a game 4. And, Alcantara go for a possible game 5. And I would have been way more confident, pitching in a game 4 at home with Pablo Lopez as our starter. I'm not saying we would have won, but I'm saying that it would have been at least given us a fairly good shot to win that type of a game. But we're going to sim the playoffs here the rest of the way out, and the New York Mets also have a disappointing end to their season. They lose to the St. Louis Cardinals here in this divisional series. Cleveland gets a win there over LA. New York gets a big win over Houston, so that's a look at the playoff bracket. The NLCS has already been finalized between the Cardinals and the Dodgers. And we'll go to Cleveland here, playing the Angels, and they win that game. They sweep, or no, they don't clean sweep the Los Angeles, but they win that series 3-1 there, and so they are moving on. And we're going to go to New York here, who is playing a game 5 against Houston. And let's see what happens in this game 5 between the Yankees and the Astros, and the Astros move on. They beat the Yankees here. A good, close game here in this one. Big fifth inning by both teams. 4 runs by New York, 5 by Houston in that fifth, and an 8-9 victory for the Houston Astros in that finale there in Game 5. So they will move on to face the Guardians. And there's a look at the offense. You got Kyle Tucker with a couple of home runs for Houston, and that was a big part of the reason why they were able to win that Game 5 there and win that series. Looking at those pitchers there and what happened with them. But Pena and Alvarez got a couple of RBIs, Nico Goodrum as well. And so let's go to the Guardians here. Facing Houston here. Let's see what happens in this series. And again, the Dodgers, they get a win in Game 1. And here's a look at Cleveland's lineup again, just to kind of remind you of that. I mean, that was a very quick glance. But, yeah, they do have Brian De La Cruz, who we did trade to them in the middle of the season. That was to get a prospect. That was not the guy. That wasn't the Corey Lee trade. Or actually, it was. It wasn't the Corey Lee trade. Never mind. So 1-1 series tie. I'm really trying to remember what happened in that Brian De La Cruz trade that I made with the Guardians. Who did I get? That was the Bobby Bradley. That was to get Bobby Bradley. I remember that now. Okay. So anyway, the Guardians and Houston here. The Guardians win this one 4-3. The Dodgers clean sweep the Cardinals. So the Dodgers have not lost yet in the postseason so far. So they are now locked in as the World Series team in the National League. 3-2 Cleveland lead. Okay, Game 7 between Cleveland and Houston here. Let's see what happens. Rooting for Cleveland, and yes, the Guardians win that Game 7, 4-6. Big time 6th inning for them. 5 runs in the bottom of the 6th. Bregman had a home run in that game. Brian De La Cruz had a hit and a couple of RBIs, so good job for him there. Jimenez had a home run. McCullers, 4 runs allowed in 5.2 innings. Zach Plesac gave up 4 runs in 5 innings. But what a interesting World Series matchup. We got the Los Angeles Dodgers, a team that you would expect to be there in the World Series, but versus the Cleveland Guardians, who I did not expect the Guardians to make it to the World Series. This is, 2020. This is the 2022 season, and the Guardians in real life were definitely not as good as they are in this game. They have a 2-1 series lead. Now the series tie. They've lost 2 games in a row here in LA. This is a big game, and that's a big win right there by Cleveland, a 9-6 victory. And so now 2 chances to lock it up at home in their home ballpark here in the World Series. So they're up 3-2. So I say, why not? Why not? Let's go into this, and let's quick manage this game. This is Game 6 here in this series. So we're going to quick manage this, and if, it comes down to a close game, we'll hop in, and we'll at least see the Guardians, win the World Series if they, in fact, have that chance to do that in this game. Trey Turner triples immediately out of the game, and somehow Los Angeles does not get a run in that situation. How about that? Okay. There's Brian De La Cruz, and bringing up some memories, and how crazy would it be for Brian De La Cruz to win a World Series the season that we trade him? I would be happy for him for sure. So we're in the bottom of the 3rd inning, and there's still no score. Ground down, Oscar Mercado grounds out. Luke Miley gets a base hit. Okay, 2-on. Brian De La Cruz is up here. And Brian De La Cruz is going to come through. Nice, good job. All right, I am cheering for Cleveland in this game. If you couldn't tell, I'm not going to leave my bias. I'm going to display my bias here because as a Rockies fan, I do not like the Dodgers. And because of what happened in the divisional series, I also don't like the Dodgers, so I really want to see Cleveland win this game, and they get a home run from Andres Jimenez there to make it a 2-0 lead in the bottom of the 5th, okay? So, man, okay, Aaron Savali was pitching really well. I was just about to say that he's been excellent, and then he gives up a home run. And then a triple, another one, the second triple of the game got by Trey Turner. There's a sac fly by Mookie Betts, so just like that, we are tied up again. And a few flyouts there in a row. So now we're tied, and now we're in the 7th inning. This is a close game here, and we're going to bring in Tanner Tully, it looks like, from the bullpen. Or maybe we'll go to somebody else first here. But either way, Aaron Savali is getting taken out of the game. 6 really good innings for him tonight. But, you know, still trying to decide who we want to bring into this game. And this is a big decision to make in, the 7th inning. But we're going to bring in Tyler Stefan here. 4.1 innings for him. No runs allowed. He gives up a base hit, though, to Max Muncy. There's a strikeout. Ryan Ward strikes out. Trey Turner flies out. Wow. He got out of it. First and third, and nobody out, and no runs gotten there by Los Angeles. Massive stop. Now first and third here with 1 out. Mercado flies it out, but he doesn't get the sacrifice. Apparently a little, maybe too shallow for Roman Rosario to tag. Now the bases are loaded for Miles Straw. And a fielder's choice. Man, okay. Cleveland blew that chance to take the lead. Really big chance for them, and they don't come through there. Now we're in the 8th inning. Base hit by Mookie Betts. And I think we're going to go to the bullpen again here. I don't want to take any chances. This is Game 6 of the World Series right here. Pitch, we're going to get that strikeout. Now it's Edwin Rios, who is definitely a little bit better against lefties here, it looks like, or against righties, actually. So with that, we're going to look to the bullpen again, potentially, and we're going to bring in a lefty and Tanner Tully here in the 8th. He gets a strikeout, clutch. Now we're in the bottom of the 8th inning. Blake Trinan's going to come out of the game. Base hit by Brian De La Cruz. Fly out now. There's a ground down, and okay, no runs in the 8th. So now we're in the 9th. Tanner Tully here is going to try and get another couple of outs. So Angel Alberto comes out off the bench for the Dodgers here. Really good contact against lefties. We're gonna keep Tanner Tully in, and now we're in the bottom of the 9th. We're gonna hop into this one here. Okay, Game 6 of the World Series is tied in the bottom of the 9th, and Cleveland has a chance to walk this ball game off. How about this opportunity here for Cleveland? Of course, we all know the infamous series against the Cubs that they had. That's the last time that they were in the World Series. They haven't won the World Series in a really long time. And so now they have a man on. That's the winning run on base here for the Guardians. As there's a ground ball, or actually a bunt that's a little bit hit, a little bit too hard. And they're going to get the lead runner right there. So, yeah, 1948. That's the last time that the Guardians or Guardians Indians had won the World Series. And so it's been 74 years since the last championship was brought into Cleveland here. There's a ground ball, and that's going to be an easy base hit here. So, or actually, that was a line drive. Never mind. I didn't see that. So now 2 outs, 2-0, and it's a ground ball. Stopped by Barnes. The throw it to first base in time. And Game 6 of the World Series is going to go into extra innings. We go down to the 10th. Stephen Kwan going to come on defensively for Cleveland. Ryan Ward is going to step up to the plate. 1 for 3 in this game with the home run. As there's a swing and a miss on a 4-seam fastball there by Tully. Still pitching here in the top of the 10th inning. Beautiful pitch right there by Tully. Just blew it right by Ryan Wood. Way late on that fastball. So here is Trey Turner now at the plate. 1-0 to Turner. Ground ball. That's going to be a base hit. And into left field for a single. So man on here with 1 away. Fast runner, and Trey Turner's going. The throw, and they're going to get him at second base. Brilliant play by the catcher. Not sure who it is for Cleveland, actually, but a brilliant play. I mean, Trey Turner, one of the hardest guys to throw out on the base paths in baseball, and they did it right there. Big timeout. 2 down in the inning now. Chris Taylor still at the plate. 2-2 pitch is a swing and a miss. Curveball below the knees and in the dirt. Strike 3. Middle of the 10th inning. The second chance now for Cleveland, the Guardians, to walk this game off and get a title. Alex Vesia coming out of the mound for the Los Angeles Dodgers. 2 innings for him in the postseason. 4.5 ERA. Miles Straw at the plate. He's 1 for 4 with a single in this game. Let's see what happens here. A full count pitch by Vesia is low. 4-4. So once again, the winning run is going to get on base for Cleveland here. Now here's Brian De La Cruz. How crazy would this be if our trade piece that we sent to Cleveland is the one that gets the game-winning hit? 1-1, but Brian De La Cruz is going to lay down a bunt, and this one is going to work. That is perfect. So, well, not perfect because Brian De La Cruz didn't reach base, but it is a sacrifice, and it works out that way to send the runner to second. So that is a sacrifice there by De La Cruz. And the winning run is now at second base here for the Guardians. Here's Jose Ramirez. He's 0 for 4 in this game. I mean, the superstar of this Cleveland team. He's going to fly deep to the outfield here. Betts is on his horse, and he's going to make the catch right in front of the wall. Wow, that was... Didn't miss a home run by a lot. Now, the winning run is 90 feet away for Franmil Reyes, who is going to step up to the plate. Only batting 200 in the playoffs, or at least in this series. I don't know if that's a series or these playoffs, but either way, here comes a first pitch to Franmil Reyes. It's a swing and a drive deep to left. Ryan Ward looks up. Oh, it's gone! Franmil Reyes, a walk-off home run. The Cleveland Guardians have won the World Series. A walk-off winner in Game 6. Franmil Reyes will deliver the Guardians their first championship in 74 years. It's the longest championship drought, World Series drought, and it's broken here in the 10th inning by Franmil Reyes in Game 6 of this World Series. Wow! How about that? Special moments here and in front of the crowd in Progressive Field. How loud did this place just get after that swing? A no-doubter! And a 4-2 win for the Guardians in extras. I mean, that's why I love baseball, man. I know it's not real life, but, I mean, things like that happen in real life, and it's so incredible that it does. That's unreal. The Guardians, at least in, this simulated world, have finally broken the streak. They've broken the curse, and they have won a World Series. They are bringing that championship trophy back to Cleveland. How about that? 103 wins they had this year. They are clearly the best team in the American League, and they were the best team record-wise in baseball, and they win the World Series in 6 games. All right, so that was not something that I expected. Brian De La Cruz gets his World Series championship trophy. I think about that feels better than what happened to the Marlins here in the playoffs, in this franchise. But I'm glad. I'm happy for him. I'm happy for the management. Hey, there's Tito there. Man, what is his name? He just retired in real life, like a couple of days ago. I should know that. I should know the name of that manager there. But he gets a championship in this simulated universe before he retires. And yeah, Terry Francona, that's who that manager is right there. And he's going to be the one to lift up the trophy for the Cleveland Guardians. And what a beautiful trophy that is. That's what we want. That's what we're shooting for in this series. Our goal as a franchise here in this franchise is to win at least one or two of those trophies. The hardest trophy to win in sport, and that's the dream. But what a game, man! 4-2 final. Cleveland Guardians win the World Series. 74 years they've done it. That was awesome. I love that I got to call that too. I mean, I just, I wanted to kind of quick manage that game, and I just was thinking, oh, that would be cool. You get to quick manage it, see what happens. And then I'm like, oh my goodness, this is a chance to see a walk-off happen in the World Series. I got to come in and I got to pitch in this game right now, and I got to show this for the video, and I get to call a World Series walk-off. That's pretty special. Pretty awesome there. But yeah, I love this series, man. And year one was definitely a success. You get to see the playoff and the postseason MVP is Mookie Betts. Yeah, that makes sense. 429 average, 6 homers, and 16 RBIs for him. And Andres Jimenez there, 349 average, 4 homers, and 15 RBIs in the playoffs for the Guardians. So, wow, that's a surprising World Series MVP, or postseason MVP at least. I don't know why Stephen Klein got the World Series MVP. Probably doesn't deserve it because he probably had like 4 or like maybe even only 2 at bats, and he got a hit in one of his 2 at bats that he had in the World Series. So that's a little bit buggy. I don't like how they award the postseason or the World Series MVP sometimes because it seemed like one definitely shouldn't have been the World Series MVP. But anyway, that is beyond the point, and I'm sorry that I am still a little stuffy. I've been just kind of stuffy and a little bit of cough like all week this week for some reason. I don't know why. I did this cough and this little sickness that I have right now is just not going away. So I do apologize for that. There are certain points of the video where I had to kind of back away from the mic to cough or to just clear my sinus, and my voice probably sounds a little bit weird still and a little bit stuffily. There's nothing I can really do about that. I just want this to go away. I pray that it does. But, at the time, I still want to record videos for you guys, of course. So that's the goal. But look at league leaders there. 2 triples from Andres Jimenez. Jason Dominguez actually did play in the postseason for the Yankees, and he actually played in the regular season for a time and for a bit there. Jose Ramirez, 6 home runs in the American League for Cleveland, 4 by Betts. Paul Goldschmidt had 6 by Betts, 4 from Goldschmidt. Pete Alonso had 3. Andres Jimenez had 5, and Yordan Alvarez had 4 home runs as well. It didn't really have a unbelievable regular season. I mean, had a good regular season for sure, but not like a crazy one that you would expect. 16 RBIs for Jimenez actually is the most that anybody had the entire playoffs. 1 more than Mookie Betts did. And 14 runs by Josh Naylor, 4 stolen bases there. A 409 on base for Betts in the playoffs. And looking at some pitching numbers there, I mean, it's a little bit weird because some of these guys didn't even pitch that many innings, but Cesar Sanchez is up there, so good to see that. But, yeah, Reed Detmers, I don't know how many innings he pitched there. He doesn't have any ERA. But, yeah, that's going to be about it, everybody. I'm going to, kind of sign off on this video and sign off on year 1. Esther Cortez actually had a shutout in the postseason. The only one. 26 strikeouts, I think that's it for Shane Bieber. Maybe 20-something. Either way, but 31 innings pitched by Shane Bieber. That's pretty impressive. But either way, that's going to be the end of the episode here, everybody. So this is the end of year 1. So we're going to have a pretty decent break in between this episode and the off-season. I'm not sure how I'll structure the off-season video yet. I've definitely watched other people do it, so I kind of know what I want the off-season recap to look like. But again, it's going to take a little bit. I haven't actually gotten started on the off-season in this franchise yet because I'm focusing on the Custom League right now. I'm actually in the playoffs and real life for the Custom League as we speak. But that's going to be the series that is going to be pumping from now for a little while, for at least a couple, maybe a month or so. I want to really push to the playoffs and that Custom League. So that'll be the videos that you'll see on the channel going forward for at least a little bit here. And then we'll get to the off season of this franchise, and then we'll get to year 2, and we'll get to that. So either way, thank you guys for watching this episode. Thank you guys for watching this series here and watching year 1 of this rebuild. As the Marlins season is over here, playoffs have ended. But I thank you guys again for watching. You've been listening to Lucas from Mars. Have a great day, everybody, and God bless.